No. Now we have too many color coordinated too.
We're fine, we're fine. All right, good morning, everyone. If you're ready, we are ready. Cameras on? All right. Thank you very much for coming together under reasonably short notice to address an issue of critical importance in our community and, quite frankly, our state and our nation. As I looked out at the horizon from my office this morning, I saw gray clouds over Los Angeles. Those gray clouds could mean a lot of things to a lot of people. I interpreted them as clouds of injustice, clouds of fear, of intimidation, clouds that seek to scare the best of us into dark corners that for decades we promised ourselves and the rest of our nation we would abandon and prevent those who experience the most fragile of conditions from ever descending into those places. We are one. At Los Angeles Unified, we have a commitment to protect the rights, the opportunities for every single child, every one of our workforce members, and the families we serve. No questions asked. We do so with courageous determination, and for those who doubt it, despite the insinuations or accusations, we stand strongly on the right side of law. We are upholding the law. Every student in our community, every student across the country has a constitutional right to a free public education of high quality without threat. Every one of our students, independently of their immigration status, has a right to a free meal in our schools. Every one of our children, no questions asked, has a right to counseling, social and emotional support, mental support, in addition to great education. Our schools are safe places. Our schools are places of education and inspiration, not fear and intimidation. Many of us here are immigrants or children of immigrants. We would be hypocrites if we took a step backwards from the position of protecting those who today face what our parents or ourselves faced years ago. So for us, we embrace and embody this position on the basis of both a moral and professional responsibility to educate, to protect, to inspire our kids and our families. As I'm addressing you, there are two schools in our community that within a couple of blocks we see federal vans parked. No action has been taken, but we interpret those actions as actions of intimidation, instilling fear that may lead to self-deportation. That is not the community we want to be. That is not the state or the nation that we ought to be. In fact, if those who believe that that is the nation we should become, let's rearrange Lady Liberty. Let's bring that arm down and extinguish that flame, for we're no longer the light for the world. I am proud to reside in LA. I am proud to call this city my city. I am proud of the fact that this board stands united and unified alongside community partners and elected officials in saying, not on our watch. Not on our watch shall people trample over children's rights. Not on our watch shall people be intimidated. Not on our watch shall we succumb to unreasonable pressures for us to do that which is not human or humane or humanitarian. I'm one who believes that as an educator of many decades, we know and understand that public education and democracy are two sides of the same American coin. Undermine one, the other will suffer. That is what's at stake. We will not waver from our responsibility of protecting kids. Let me take a quick break to let you know who's with us today. But I wanted to declare up front what we stand for, the values and principles that guide our work, because none of us disagree over that. I also want to assert that there are many other people who would like to be here today. And I'd like to mention that our labor leaders, UTLA, SEIU 99 were invited. They would have been here, but they are preparing for another event right around the corner. We appreciate their solidarity with us during these trying times. We have with us today our board president, Scott Schmerlson, our board vice president, Rocio Rivas, school board member, Mr. Nick Melvoin, school board member, Ms. Carla Griego, school board member, Ms. Gomez, and school board member, Ms. Ortiz Franklin. Will be joined in a little bit by school board member, Charlotte Newbill. We have LA County Supervisor Hilda Solis. We have community partners who do incredible work every single day, whether as in providing assistance, counseling, or pro bono legal support for children and their families. We have Chirla here with us today, Miriam Mesa. We have public counsel with a number of qualified individuals who stand in the protection of the legal rights of our students. We have Carecen. We have PTA presidents representing the South, Central, East, and West LA. Leslie Menjivar, the 10th District PTA president. We have the 31st District PTA president representing San Fernando Valley, Colleen Ross. We have senior staff members, we have teachers, we have counselors, we have our community in support of our kids. I want to speak a little bit about our district commitment. We recognize that fear and intimidation are tools currently being exercised and used in our community. I want to, however, say we remain unwavering in our commitment that our schools are safe, welcoming sites for all, where every single right is protected. And I want to be very clear to those who may seek to take actions that transcend our beliefs and our policies. We're not just talking about our schools. We're talking about our schools, places where kids wait for the buses, the bus itself. We're talking about sites where graduations are currently taking place. And I have to say, what a heartbreak. I've spoken with parents who've told me that their daughter would be the first in their family to graduate high school. And they're not going to be there to witness it because they have a fear of the place of graduation being targeted. What nation are we becoming? Who in their right mind would accept that reality? So I want to be reassuring to our community. Every single graduation site is a protected site. I have directed our own police force to redouble their efforts and establish perimeters of safety around graduation sites to intervene and interfere with any federal agency who may want to take action during these joyous times that we call graduation. Not on our watch. As I said earlier, every child has a constitutional right to a public education. Therefore, every child and their parent has a right to celebrate the culmination of their educational success. With that said, we ought to be careful and take the necessary steps. We are encouraging every parent in our community, particularly parents with fragile immigration status, to update in person at school, online via the parent portal, update the emergency contact information. If you cannot yourself go to your child's school in case of an emergency, to get your child or to drop off your child, empower someone who can. In addition to that, we are here with you 24/7. Our family hotline is active 24/7. It is 213-443-1300. If you have a question, a concern, a fear, please reach out to us. We have the appropriate resources to support you. We can direct your concern to free legal support to address your issues. We're here to help. We recognize that in light of what's taken place, our youth, particularly our high school students, need to demonstrate their position. And let me talk about that for a second. They are members of our community. They know what's happening. They're listening to the dinner table conversations between their parents. And some have expressed to me what those conversations are like. They've told me that mom and dad are talking about who shall leave, who shall stay, whether or not they themselves as students will be under the protective care of a neighbor, because maybe both parents have to leave. Who would get that student if the parent is apprehended at the restaurant where they work, at the lumber yard where they labor? No child, regardless of age, should have to experience or listen to that type of commentary. With that said, we're asking parents to speak with students. There is a possibility of student walkouts. We have heard of it. To the extent possible, considering the consequences and dangers beyond our schools, to the extent possible, please stay in school. Parents, help us. We will provide safe space and time for students to voice their position and their opinion within the safe confines of our schools. We can no longer predict what will happen outside of our schools. The recent images on TV tell us that. We have mental health resources available to our students, to our parents, and certainly to our workforce. And I want to speak directly to the workforce. We often address the students and the parents. Our teachers, our counselors, our support staff are hurting over what they see and what they hear from the children we serve. Their mental health crisis is comparable to the one our children face. Therefore, we have Family Wellness Resource Line open. We also have an employee assistance service for education employees. That means all employees, also open 24/7 support for everyone in our school system. Easy number, 1-800-882-1341. If you feel you need assistance, please call. We have established restorative circles to support students in school. Tomorrow is the last day of school in our grade school system, but soon enough we'll be in summer school. June 17th through July 16th, we will operate Summer of Joy, summer opportunities for all students. I don't want the current pervasive fear to deter parents and students from doing the right thing for their kids. With that said, we are going to amplify the number of schools providing summer school services to reduce the travel time for families on our dime. We will provide convenient transportation, but also as a protective measure for our students, so that parents and kids can avoid what could be a difficult walk to school considering the imminent dangers. We will also open up virtual opportunities for students who may have extreme fear regarding attendance at their neighborhood school. I want to speak a little bit about the graduation and culmination ceremonies. What happened over this weekend could not have happened at a worse time. The lion's share of our graduations are happening today and tomorrow. In fact, over 100 graduation ceremonies between today and tomorrow. We will protect every parent, every child, every workforce member. We've instructed our principals to not create lines, to not restrict access. As soon as they come, they will enter the venues where the graduations are taking place, reducing the risk for them while on the street waiting to get in. We also have authorized the principals to allow parents to remain at the venue for as long as it takes, should there be any immigration enforcement action around the area where the graduations are taking place. And as I said earlier, we have deployed operations personnel and our school board police to establish perimeters of safety around graduation sites and schools where federal actions are being detected. Where possible, we have stood up Zoom opportunities for parents to be able to witness the culmination of their children online. And lastly, we want to ensure that after the ceremony, the protective pathway for parents is also maintained safe. And that is why our school board police will remain on site for as long as necessary. Lastly, I want to speak once again about our summer school program. Last year, every grade level, every subject area saw significant improvements in terms of performance. This is not public yet, but I'm going to make a prediction today that the improvements of last year will be obliterated by the performance of this year, notwithstanding the fires, the shutdown, and the immigration woes and fears experienced by our community. That's because what we're doing works. The commitment of our teachers, our support staff, our principals, our parents, it's working. And part of that solution resides with the experience of summer school. The current fears could not undermine our summer school program, during which time kids receive academic acceleration, support, enrichment, but also food, nutrition. We cannot deprive our kids of their absolute rights to education and food. Therefore, we will go forward with a month-long summer school program with all of the protective measures I described up until this point. I spoke with Mayor Bass late last night, and we are, and I will not get into the specifics, coordinating support systems and protection for our kids, including expanded transportation. I have communicated with the governor about what must be done to continue to protect our schools and necessary waivers should we see significant impacts to attendance going into summer school or next year. And we have extreme support from both local, state, as well as our congressional delegation, who have declared in a very aggressive way their support for Los Angeles Unified. So with that said, and before I go into Spanish, let me introduce and bring up our president of the school board, Mr. Scott Schmerelson.
Thank you so much, and good morning, everyone. That was a very comprehensive report, Superintendent. Thank you so much. I feel assured that our kids are going to be safe. So, you know, this is graduation time. This is supposed to be the happiest time for our kids and their parents. And it's a very sad time. But we have to remember, too, our kids have accomplished a lot. They are graduating, and I try to keep a positive attitude that this is graduation time, and hooray for the kids. I really appreciate that. Well, first and foremost, we stand with every student who comes to our schools, every single student. We're charged with protecting them and preparing them to become what they can be, all they can be. This week, we will continue to celebrate the hard work and the achievements of our students. We will stand for those who are there and those who aren't there. We will stand for all of our graduates. And as we stand for our students, for their right for an education, we also stand for the right for their dreams. And we will stand with the families. Todos somos familia. Let's always remember that. We'll also stand with our labor partners, standing for students with their families. And let's remember, as we stand, we call for this attack on our communities to come to an end. We all stand on borrowed land. And in each board meeting, we have a reminder that this is borrowed land. So let's honor the dreams of our ancestors and call for this madness to come to an end. Thank you.
As I bring up our Vice
of you.
Check, check,
These
check.
are
1, 2, 3.
communities of resilience and hope, places where generations have worked hard to build